Welcome back. In the last assignment, we went over 3 questions. Who you are today, where is your life today, and where do you want to go? So how'd you feel making that live video, answering those questions? Because I know when I answered them, they were pretty difficult. They were hard. Because I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. Since for so many years, I was comfortable being in the place that I was at. So the questions were a little difficult. So I want to know, how did you feel? It's getting a little bit more uncomfortable as we go along. It gets better, I promise. But don't quit. Anyway, labels. We live our whole lives with labels all on our back. Shit, sometimes we don't even know we're wearing a fucking label. We just know it's there. Since the day we were born. Damn, this baby is crying loud. This baby is just rude. It's outspoken. It's crazy. It's wild. Has an opinion for everything. And does it have to ask so many questions? You know, when you're a 3-year-old, your 3-year-old, I know my 3-year-old, she was always asking questions. Always talking. And they sound so cute. They sound adorable. And as they get older, she hasn't changed. Her personality has been the exact same since she was a child. I just remember having so many labels on my fucking back. I didn't even know they were there my whole life. But there was one particular label that stuck with me my whole life. I was bossy. That was one major one that stuck with me. I was bossy. I remember being a child and always running the household, telling my brother what to do and telling even my mom the days that she had to clean up and when the mortgage is due. It was crazy. It was just bossy. Later on, I had another label that stuck with me. I was loud. But that one didn't really bother me as much as the bossy one. The loud one didn't come until later on. But the bossy one is what stuck with me. So as I was growing up, I was always told I was just bossy. I was bossy. So I kind of started shutting down a little bit until the second label overpowered the bossy one. I was loud. I was told my whole life I was loud. I was okay with it. But when you have so many people telling you over and over and over and over, you become loud. You become those labels. You don't even realize that those labels are good labels sometimes. The third label that I've heard many times, I was rude. So when you have bossy, loud, and rude, what do you say about that? About a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, about a 4-year-old, a 30-year-old? You believe those labels are negative. So we live our whole lives beating ourselves up for that. We try to control ourselves not to be those 3 things, at least I did. I controlled my life trying to be careful not to be those labels. The reality is those 3 create a fucking leader. But the more people told me I was bossy, outspoken, and loud, well, shit, that shut me down. Who wants to be around that type of person? Right? So I looked at those labels that were negative. So how was I going to become that leader when I thought those 3 things that actually created a leader were a bad thing? So I shut those things out. I wanted to reach back there and just tear those fucking labels apart. I didn't want to be that person. I wanted to be the opposite of those fucking labels. I didn't want to voice my opinion. I wanted to be nice and polite. I wanted to be quiet. I didn't want to be outspoken. But why? Those labels could have been created the day you were born. By your family, by your friends, shit, by fucking strangers. I had more strangers telling me I was rude than I had my own people that I knew. But the reason why I had that, what I didn't know, what I know today, is I wasn't being rude. I stood up for myself. I wasn't afraid of you. But the more I had strangers telling me, man, you're rude, the more I started shutting down. Because I thought, well, maybe I am rude. What I know today is all those labels. I embrace those labels. I love those labels. I'm a fucking leader because of those 3 fucking labels. I am where I am today because of those 3 fucking labels. So what labels do you have on your back that you can't reach to remove? Because see, the bad labels were right around the corner of my shoulders that I was able to pull off. Right? But in reality, those were the good labels that I removed so easily because so many people told me that's what I was. Some of those labels are still back there. We all carry them for the rest of our lives. It's how we handle them is what matters. How we control them is what matters. I decided to take those 3 labels and create a phenomenal fucking leader. I created me. I have always been me. Now embrace me. I love me. So, going back to your assignment, I want to know what labels you're carrying on yourself today. Remember that live video, no more than 3 minutes. What labels are you carrying on yourself today that you cannot embrace? Or maybe you've already removed that label and you don't know how to get it back because you realized today that it was a good label. Question number 2. Who put that label on you? Family? Friends? Co-workers? Husband? Kids, maybe? Sometimes they don't even know that they're placing those labels on you. But if you have enough people feeding that label, shit, it stays on there forever. Or maybe you have removed the label you thought was bad because people told you it was bad. And you can't get that label back because it's lost. In reality, you're lost. So remember, ladies, the 2 questions I need answered, no more than 3 minutes. What labels are you carrying on yourself today? And number 2, who put them on there? Labels are good labels. We all have them. So talk to me. Create that live video, do the work, and do it now. Get started.